Hello, Oncers. We're here talking about Once Upon a Time, Season 6, Episode 14, page 23. And boy, do we have some things to talk about, so stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
We're getting ready to dance, and it's just like,
and there's like,
dun, 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 dun.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another exciting after show here at AFTERBUZZ TV for our favorite show and yours, Once Upon a Time. I'm your host, Tiona Hobson. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at the Tiona Hobson. And joining me tonight, I've got the twins over here, twinning Dakota T Jones.
What is up, guys? You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Mr. Dakota T Jones.
And the professor herself, Marisa Serafini.
Hello, everyone. Yes, you can follow me on Twitter at Serafini TV.
So overall thoughts on tonight's episode?
I'm a mixed bag with this.
See, I was obsessed.
There's some things I liked, some things I didn't. I liked some aspects, but I wish it was kind of different. But I liked that things happened, if you know what I mean.
Personally, I was obsessed. I loved the episode. I was super excited. Everything worked out exactly how I had hoped it would. A lot of things, I mean, when I say hoped, I didn't know what was going to happen because I'm not that great with predictions, as you mentioned last week.
Exactly.
But, like, how I would have hoped, like, when it happened, I was like, yes, that's what I want to happen.
I feel like it could have happened another way too. You would have been like, yes, that's what I wanted to happen.
Well, I was just generally happy. The past two episodes have been a little rocky, but this one I was very, very happy with.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll accept that. Yeah, I'm kind of in Marissa's boat where there's things that I love, things that I was like, do we really need to go there? Right. Things that I was upset about because they promised me one thing and gave me something else. And so let's talk about some things that happened tonight. And for those of you who are probably wondering, yes, I am wearing my Minnie Mouse ears because I went to Disneyland on Friday. And
people are loving your
myself.
ears, T.
Thank you,
People
guys.
in live chat are loving your ears.
God. We started late because I had to go to my bag to find them real quick.
They kind of look like the little hat that the evil queen was wearing. You know how she had like that black, silvery, like little hat going on today? I like it.
Well, Amanda Herrera says, cute ears, Tiona.
Oh, thank you. So let's start off by talking about these flashbacks that are happening, which flashbacks to me usually are exciting because, you know, we're getting more to the story and everything. Tonight, though, it wasn't a letdown because I think the reveal at the end was, you know, good. It just was kind of boring.
Yeah.
The flashback scenes tonight to me felt boring.
I get what you mean, because usually I am like super duper excited to see these flashbacks, and they're always exciting and different things are happening, and it lets us know more backstory so we can know what's happening now. And I feel like it did that in a sense, but I feel like I've seen more detailed flashbacks, and this was maybe like a filler, but we've seen, you know, Evil Queen trying to get Snow White and things happening, but I did like the little moment whenever, you know, she sees herself in the mirror.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say boring per se. I would say more so endearing, because we did see her father. It's always great seeing her daddy. But it really led up to something that we already knew. We could already pick out at the end. And so, yeah, maybe not exciting as it could have been.
Have you felt like we kind of saw that part before? We've seen her get mad and her father's been there to try to console her. We've seen that.
Yeah, we've seen it. And maybe boring. It's boring to me. I use the word boring because the journey to get to the end destination of the story, I was bored with. And that's why I found it boring. Like, what the story involved and what the lesson at the end was, that was a good ending for the wrapping up of that flashback. It was just the journey to get there for me. It was slow, and I was like, okay, usually when a flashback comes up, I'm like, yes, okay, flashback. Yes. And tonight I was just like, oh man, we're going back again.
Right. Compared to some of the flashbacks we've gotten, like with little Emma and how she got her name Swan, and all, those are all very exciting. So we've gotten so many great flashbacks, and so I get what you mean. This time it was a little slower and not as much going on. It's
but
like
the thing about these flashbacks is that it didn't reveal like answers or like new information about a character that helped the character development. I mean, we got a little bit about Regina truly finding out that she's the one who truly hated herself, her old evil ways. We kind of got that, though.
I did like that moment, though, because she's like, oh, is Snow like breaking into my castle? Oh, she's gonna learn. And then whenever she sees herself in the mirror, I gotta say, like, she's an incredible actress. That moment where she looks in the mirror, that actual hurt and like disgust in her eyes, an amazing actress. Lana is so
talented.
amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, that look, I was like, I wanted to pause it and just look in it because you could see into her eyes, into her soul. She's amazing.
And you have to give her props too, because the majority of this episode she was acting with herself. You know, and
Yeah,
that takes
Right.
a lot of talent to be able to do that and to deliver, you know, the amount of energy and the
Right.
performance that you need for both of these characters. So, I mean, she did a great job tonight with both roles.
I feel like she's had to have both roles. She's literally had 2 roles in like this huge TV show for a whole season now. I'm sure she's kind of excited to be able to just have to learn, you know, just, you know, like, okay, I'm just going to be myself again. And she doesn't have to like have all these conversations with herself and learn one side of lines and then the other, you know what I mean? I think
She doesn't have to do scenes twice anymore. One is the good guy, one is the bad.
Yeah.
Good cop, bad cop.
Exactly.
I mean, and the flashbacks also got us, you know, we got Tinkerbell back tonight for a little bit.
Yeah.
I really,
Rose McIver, you know, welcome back to the fam. Haven't seen you in a while.
Rose McIver's awesome. I love Tinkerbell, but did she sound different? Like I
She sounded like she'd been through some things,
Yeah,
like
no,
some
but
darkness or something.
She sounded way more British, low voice British in this episode.
Really?
And going back, I don't remember her sounding like that.
Maybe
at
it's
all.
because like, you know, Tinkerbell's usually always up here, and maybe she, like you said, has been through some stuff, but she's also trying to talk the queen down from like murdering somebody and having mercy and like trying to talk her into giving her a second chance. So I could see how her voice would change, and instead of her being like Miss Tinkerbell, she'd be like, okay, look, like we need to figure this out, like you need to calm down. Like I kind of get that. I understand why they kind of chose that in a sense. I didn't think it sounded too different. I think it was just a different situation.
Yeah, it was a different situation, but I think just voice acting as a acting choice, it sounded different from the previous episodes that we've seen in her. And it just kind of threw me off a bit watching. It's like, yeah, Tink, great to have you back, but
I'll have to
Very
rewatch
different.
that part.
I'll have to rewatch her old episodes.
you
Yeah.
see, people are agreeing with me
this
too.
is why you are
Thank
the
you.
professor, because you know everything. So
See,
Well-
Danielle said that Tink sounded exhausted, and that's what I got from her.
she looked tired too, and there was a moment she said something towards Regina, Regina said something to her about like, I don't really care where you've been. And that's what made me think, oh, Tinkerbell might have been through some things. Like, she might have had a whole journey herself because of these flashbacks. I know this is a flashback of a time when her dad was still alive, so clearly pre-curse and everything. But it's like, I'm not sure exactly where in the land of flashbacks, on the timeline of flashbacks, where this lands.
Yeah.
So I don't know where Tinkerbell would have been or
That makes
how
sense.
long it's been since they've seen each other.
Yeah.
They're saying Tink was in her Neverland garb.
Yes.
But so it is that time period
Yeah.
to match things up
So
with
she
the
has been
timeline.
through some things.
Yeah, she been through some stuff. Peter Pan was not
Her
a nice
voice
boy.
just sounded different.
Peter Pan was a...
But the
Find that
moral
out.
of the story here, guys, is that the evil queen really just hated herself. She didn't hate Snow, and that she is capable of love. And it was kind of an obvious thing because Tinkerbell tells her, you know, you don't think you deserve love, and that's why you're scared to go into this tavern and talk to this man with the lion tattoo. And that's why you won't go pursue and look for him. He's still out there for you. And, you know, when she gets super mad about that, you're like, okay, clearly she's touched on a sore spot.
Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
yeah. I mean, we've seen this particular scene like more than once now, and then to keep going back to it and things not changing a bit, it is a little bit frustrating just as an audience member to keep watching this happen again and again with no change.
Which is why we needed to have one last showdown between Regina and the evil queen,
And
so
we
we
got
could get
that.
rid of
Got a sword
it
fight
forever.
showdown.
And this is the part where I felt like they cheated me of what should have happened a little bit.
Are you
Tell us,
kidding
T.
me?
Tell us more.
Okay, and I'm not trying to be nitpicky because I understand this episode also had a lot of, it was all the females. The females ruled this episode. So I'm like, yes, girl
Yes, they
power,
did.
women empowerment, women's history month, like, amen, girls
Amen.
kicking butt, you know?
Yes.
All of that stuff.
Yeah.
But you promised me a showdown between the evil queen and Regina, and I'm like, okay, it's an epic, the last standoff. That means one of them is not coming out of this alive. And then our ending is, oh, you know what? I'm gonna put a little love in your heart. And that, come on.
Okay, would you have rather everything happen the way like this, or would you rather one of them died? Like, seriously.
I'd rather the evil queen completely kaput died.
Really?
Yeah.
And I would
You guys have
rather
no
them
love in your
not
hearts.
advertise it
Actually, I
as a huge standoff between them if it wasn't going to end in someone dying.
You know, I mean, I completely agree with you, T. The sword fight was fun. Yes.
It was.
But I expected, especially, and I said this episodes ago when she was gonna use the shears to cut the fate between the two. I was like, yes, that's what I've been saying. But the fact that they finally did it, and they didn't completely vanquish Evil Queen, allows us to know that there's still an evil queen out there. She can still be a problem in the future. Love you, Regina. Love you, Evil Queen. But damn,
You
come
think
on.
that she's gonna change and like
to
go back to her
finally
old
get
ways?
over this issue of good Regina, bad Evil Queen Regina, you have to completely eliminate Evil Queen, and they didn't do that.
But-
they didn't do that.
And we're talking as the Evil Queen and Regina's biggest supporters here. I
Oh, yeah.
I don't
You guys
necessarily
know I love
want
Regina.
to see someone die on this show, and I get that it's a family-friendly show. It's still 8 o'clock on ABC. But you advertise that, like, these two people are never going to stop butting heads unless one of them is no longer standing.
Yeah,
And
okay.
then you kind of went there, you set it up to go there, and then you got cold feet at the end there and were like, we're going to give it the Mickey Mouse twist and put
See,
a little love in the
I
heart
feel
of
like
others.
in this show, there's nothing but like sadness, like people die, blah blah blah, and then finally we see Regina think, okay, if I kill off this person of myself, like I'm still that person. So, and that look whenever she grabbed her heart and was gonna crush it, and then saw her face, like Lana's face was just so torn and sad. And I mean, I feel like if she would have crushed it, that would have said so much about her character. But the fact that she was able to take both of their hearts, put some good and bad in each one, and give her that second chance for her to go back and live her life again, that is way better of a storyline than someone just being killed off.
It's a happier storyline.
But
is it
here's-
we
better?
deserve a happy
Is it
storyline
better?
every once in a while because we get a lot of sadness.
we
so
do.
this is a nice. I mean, and you gotta say that flashback whenever she went to the tavern, that was everything. That made me. I almost cried. Like that was so intense that she got to go back in, and I've always hated that moment when she turned away.
Sorry,
she
I'm
got
playing
to
the
go
violin
in.
for you right now, Dakota.
She got to go
didn't get it.
in and finally confess her, or, give him a chance. And the fact that that was able to happen, and we saw that is way more meaningful than what would have happened if she would have just been killed off.
Okay, and I get that. I understand. But here's my other question. I would have rather, instead of them cutting the ties between them, the Evil Queen just living back inside of Regina. Because that's basically what
Yes!
you did. You put evilness back inside of a heart, but then let it go its separate way. And now all of a sudden Regina has a twin sister out there.
I
Yes.
know,
That
that's
doesn't make
exactly
sense to
what
the
I
story.
put in my notes.
Does it really count though? Does it really count though?
Hey,
Because they're
that's literally what I said. I was like, Regina has a twin.
Yeah, I
does
wrote
it
down
count?
what now? Regina just has a twin walking around town because I wrote that before they sent her away.
but does
But
it count though?
I completely
It does
agree.
count.
Because they're in different realms.
But,
There's-
okay,
oh,
I
there's
think
that
here's
hefty hook. There's the nice
Yes,
hook.
but there's also like those people in Regina in other realms too. You've just created another one and put into a realm.
But the thing is like literally these two Reginas are the exact same person because they have the exact same memories and emotions and feelings. They are literally the same people in two different places now.
So
Yeah, well, you can go to a wish realm or whatever type of realm and get like the different alternative versions. And we even got Robin, completely different person. He's not the same person as the good Robin. These Reginas are the same person in two different places. And my question is really, are you satisfied with the fact that Evil Queen is the one that ended up with
No,
Robin?
that made me even
neither.
more mad because
Me
I'm like,
neither.
and now Evil Queen gets to have Robin and Regina's over here suffering still.
it just shows how much of a good person Regina is to let her go, and the fact that Evil Queen got to move on and live her life is to me so much better than killing someone off because you're giving someone an opportunity to live and become the person that they were meant to be.
Okay,
Marissa,
I
what
get
does the
that.
chat have to say about this too? Because I need some. I know we're all on our teams.
Yeah, people are. Dolphins Flirty says, "I'm still mad that Regina didn't get to be with
That
Robin."
is the part that makes me the most upset about this is that Regina doesn't get Robin, but knows.
I love the whole idea. I gotta give it to Once writers. Like, I love the whole idea that an evil, bad self can get a redeemable good end and a happy ending. That's what we've all really been wanting. We want an evil Regina to kind of get her happy ending. granted, it's not the good Regina that should be getting the happy ending.
Well, we don't know. She might have a happy ending. I mean, her life has
What,
changed.
if Robin came back,
Well,
the actual good Robin came back alive, yeah, then that'd be a happy ending for me and I'd be done. But
You don't
I don't
think that'll
think
ever
that's going to
happen?
happen now.
But-
because you know why? Because they put evil queen / good Regina now with the other Robin from the other land.
I'm very confused. What are we supposed to call her now?
I don't know.
like
We can't call
Loving
it
queen?
the second Regina.
redeemed queen.
Redeemed queen?
Redeemed queen.
I don't know. I love that. I just love that whole thing. It just made me feel good inside, and I almost cried. And that takes a lot for me to almost cry, you know, and it takes even more for me to cry. But it took, you know, that was a powerful moment, and that just goes to show that the way that they told this story, for me anyway, was so powerful and exactly the way I wanted it. Because, I mean, who wants to kill somebody off? I mean, it's the majority of the time we do, and I know you want to kill off Selena.
Oh, I do.
But-
yeah, every day.
You know what I mean? Like, I just was like, you know what? Let's choose love for once. And I love that Regina said that I'm choosing love.
Well, she chose herself, which is like I'm all for. But I'm just not quite thrilled with the fact that Regina's not the one who ended up with the happy ending.
So my question is this, because I watched it and I know the chat has thoughts on this too. So the Robin that she goes to in the tavern, was that the same moment in time when Tinkerbell had first tried to get Regina to go talk to Robin in that tavern? Or is this the evil Robin that we had just had in Storybrooke who got sent to the Wish World?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Did Regina go to the Wish World for him? Because he's still not a good guy.
I think that's the latter. I think it's the latter because when we saw that Regina now go up to him, he had
He
the
knew-
memories.
Yeah,
and
he said, "Are you
knew
going to
who
try
that
and kidnap
person
me
is."
again?" And so I wasn't sure if...
So you think it might be Robin 2.0?
Yeah, it could be Swan Point Robin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely
Which
believe
then would
that
lead her down a
because
path of being
you
bad
have to
again.
remember when Tinkerbell first showed the tavern scene of Robin, they had never met. Regina and Robin had never met. So,
Ooh, yeah.
had that happened, Robin would have no recollection who this woman was. And the fact that he did know who he was, yeah, it's Swan Point Robin.
Okay.
So you think that maybe Swan Point Robin was sent back to his realm and wiped of his memories from Storybrooke, or do you think he knows everything that happened? Because it kind of sounded like he didn't remember what happened in Storybrooke, and he only remembered that one time whenever she tried to take him.
Yeah,
and
people are
everything like
agreeing
that.
it's Swan Point Robin.
But you think that he probably is just his regular self, but maybe doesn't remember being in Storybrooke? Like, do we know that he was sent back, or is this just all speculation? Because we know he was going to be, but then he also wanted to go to New York. Like, did he actually get sent back?
He got sent back because
sent back.
The evil queen told Regina, I actually held up my end of the promise because she had made a deal with him. She would send him back if he stole the scissors for her. So she said, I lived up to I actually kept my promise to him and sent him back. But I think what really got to her was when he was talking to her when he was tied up in the chair. And he was like, you know, you don't have to do this. You know, she doesn't care about me, blah, blah, blah. That's what kind of got through to her a little bit, too, of why she would want to go there with him. But it just, in my mind, I'm like, at the beginning of the episode, he's like, look, we're both bad guys. We have that in common. So sending, again, she's not ending up with Robin 1.0. She's ending up with Robin 2.0.
So then maybe she
they
isn't going to get the happy ending.
Swan Point Robin.
Well, they'll get the happy ending. They'll just be happy little, like, Bonnie and Clydes going around the forest stealing from people for themselves.
But the thing is Henry wrote in the fact that she would have a place where to get a fresh start. So it sounds like they put her back to wherever she was meant to be, where she could have a fresh start and be a new person. And
she wasn't
said,
in the... Oh, well, she wasn't
So
in the
I feel like maybe it is the other Robin, but maybe he is redeemable. Maybe he will see through her, like, all of her change and be able to kind of change. I don't know. I want to think the best. Like,
the thing is, he told her, look,
He's
maybe
so
I wasn't
optimistic.
sent... Maybe Regina was right, and I was sent here for a reason, but it wasn't to save her. It was to save you. That's what he said to her.
Yeah. But maybe
He's
he might be
saving her,
redeemable.
so that's why she's with him. She's with him.
So you think it's going to be bad news?
Well, I mean, I hope that they will put this to rest for at least a little while. I'm just saying, in future seasons or something.
So you don't
could
think
come
this
out
is you don't
again.
think this is like the end of a chapter? Be like, okay, now Regina's gonna live happily
But
ever,
you know
or
what?
Evil Queen's gonna live happily ever after with Robin, and we're gonna close that door and not go back, and she's gonna be doing this, but we're gonna only focus on this in the show.
Actually, I do kind of think that only because Adam and Eddie have been saying in all their interviews that they're closing out chapters because instead of dragging things things on. You know, they've had a lot of storylines that have dragged on. And they're starting closed chapters to get ready for next season if it comes, of starting new stories. So
I think maybe
it is like a nice little bow, but we just won't know how those two end up.
Yeah. I feel like that would be a great kind of a close of a chapter and be like, okay, somebody finally, for once, gets a happy ending. We're closing that chapter happily ever after. Now we're going to focus on this.
But that's exactly what they're doing.
Well, I would like it if that happened.
With Evil Queen. Like, they gave her a happy ending, essentially, if you got to think about it.
Yeah.
She ended up with Robin. Granted, it's not the person that I wanted her to end up with.
Yeah.
But
it's not the actual pairing that I wanted. But the fact that Evil Queen got a redemption, got a happy ending, they're probably putting a kibosh on that for now and moving forward to the next storyline that will carry us to the finale.
Even you've said, though, that you think that they are... You said, I mean, I agree too, but they are each other. Like Evil Queen, Regina, they are the same person. So in a sense, I know you're upset that Evil Queen is getting to move on with Robin, but in a sense, Robin is getting to move on with Regina because it's half of her. They share the same heart. So she, in another realm, is getting to live out that dream and still being with Robin. So in a sense,
I think I'm more upset the fact that we're not going to see those two together anymore. Like they're finally together, and we're closing the chapter, that book on that chapter. We, as an audience member, we're not going to see that anymore because they're going to move on to the next storyline.
But you know what?
And it's not with the good Regina that's actually in Storybrooke that we see every single day.
But Evil Queen is getting to move on with Robin before Marion or anyone interfered with anything. So
no, this is... Well, he doesn't have... Because if it's the Wish
Marion
World,
died.
Marion already... He said, I never had a chance to marry her. She died before we could do that.
Okay,
Marion
but then
died.
that means that...
I mean, he doesn't have a kid, probably.
Right, which means Evil Queen's not going to have to deal with all of the drama of her, you know, Zelena freezing her and all that kind of stuff. So that kind of gives her somewhat of a happy ending with Robin because he's brokenhearted. She's a new person. Maybe they can move on together. End of story, chapter closed.
Yeah, I think we're in agreement that she's getting the happy ending. We're just not happy that she gets it.
Even if it is
We
a part
all
of
agree
Regina,
that she is getting a happy ending.
all
We
getting
just
a
don't
happy
think
ending.
that this Regina should have it.
even though they're the same in a sense.
They're not the same.
They're
but
not the same
they
because
share
they
the same
split.
heart.
They split apart.
They're like twins.
That share the same.
One twin got one, the other one didn't.
I don't know. I feel like there's still chance for Regina to have a happy ending. I really do.
Her
I
happy ending will definitely
believe
look
that.
different than this happy ending that we wanted for her,
Right.
and everything.
But maybe it'll be better than she even imagined, even before, Robin. Who knows? Maybe someone will come who's very special, and maybe that'll play out in season 7, hopefully.
Who knows?
I'm sorry.
I hope for your optimism that
I know.
I
that
appreciate
it
the
is.
optimism.
I usually have a lot less to say, and I'm sorry that I'm just like yelling everything, but I'm so like this episode really got me going.
Sorry.
It did.
Let's see.
Yeah, I forgot even what I was going to talk about next. Speaking of Regina and her happy ending, well, now she's faced with the fact that Emma is engaged, and Emma's spreading the news and everything, and it hurt my heart at the beginning when, Emma's standing there with Henry and Snow telling them that they're engaged, and then Regina walks in and she sees the ring. She's like, "Are you engaged?" And that moment of like Regina having to process like, this should have been me and Robin, but then to also be like, oh wait, no, this is still my friend, and to say I'm happy for you, that took a lot from her. And it's like stuff like that when I think about it, and then go back to realizing that the evil queen version of her gets the happy ending. That's what hurts my heart more, is because she now has to live out every day up here watching other people move on and get their happy endings, and she's still sitting here like, missed my shot again.
I love that moment though where they got to hug it out. I was like, you could tell she was sad for herself, but she was also happy for Emma, and that hug and everything. I was like, wow, like that's rare. They don't usually ever hug. They work together, but they don't necessarily
And she
embrace.
even said the line like, "I'm happy for you. I truly am."
Yeah.
I'm like, all right,
for you.
Regina.
I just
Trust
love
me.
her.
As someone who's always
great.
the bridesmaid and never the bride, I know how hard it can be to say that to someone. I'm fine.
As you laugh. Have you ever caught the bouquet?
Yeah, I heard it's actually, my mom told me after I caught the bouquet that it's actually bad luck because none of her friends who have ever caught a bouquet got married.
Oh my god.
And I was like, thanks for telling me that after the fact, Mom.
That's so sad.
I love my mom. So right when Emma is all excited, spreading the news about this engagement that I'm still a little salty about the way it was asked, we get Captain Nemo back. It was like an episode about, let's bring everyone back right now. Everyone's just coming back into our lives.
Well, the good thing about Captain Nemo is like he actually brought, old resonating feelings within Hook. You know, we're always talking about like, why do we do flashbacks? Why do we see certain characters again? But like Nemo actually came back from Hook's past to tell him something good in his future to move on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was great advice from him.
I think
It was.
so.
I
Yeah.
mean, it was, look, you have to tell this person the truth or you have to learn to live with it and forgive yourself. But either way, getting revenge can hurt your heart and so can, keeping the secret. It's going to corrupt your heart in many ways. So you have to find a way to do it. And it was great advice. Of course, Hook took that to mean, oh, you know what? You know how I'm going to be able to live with myself? I'm going to just burn the memory so I don't remember what I did.
And of course she walks
first of all,
up and like,
you don't rewatch the Dreamcatcher literally in Emma's house when she could literally walk in on you at any time.
Yeah.
I was like,
While he was
come
watching
on.
it, I was just
smart.
like, is he... The first couple seconds, I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, you're lingering there a little long, dude. Someone's going to walk in. I honestly thought it was going to be Henry, but turned out to be Emma.
I'm glad that they finally got this secret, quote unquote, out, because we were always wondering, like, how long will it take?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad it was only, like, 2 episodes.
Yeah, I'm glad that it came out. I wish that he had been the one to tell her instead of her finding out like this.
Mm-hmm.
But she says some really important things there that, how do you know? She's like, my family. You know that they would forgive you. You know me. We can't keep secrets. Our relationship is built on trust, and we could have worked through this together, but you didn't even give us the chance to. You were just going to burn away the memories.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Casket fan says, hashtag dumbass. I was trying not to laugh.
He's not the brightest, but he real pretty, y'all. Hashtag hooker for life. Okay, he real pretty. He ain't the brightest one in the
Loyal
schoolyard.
fan, you guys. She
Loyal
is a
fan
loyal
here.
fan.
Yes.
I am ride or die for my shippings, okay? But yeah, so it sucks the way that she found out, but at least it's out there. And she really leaves it up to him. She's like, here's the ring back. The man who I fell in love with, when you're ready to be him again, come find me.
You know what? And I'm actually okay with her giving the ring back because that gives him a second chance to do
right.
a proper proposal.
I know. I thought about that. I was like, oh, they're going to be happy for that. And it's going to happen.
I was happy
Now
when
do
that
it
happened.
right.
It'll happen.
Do it right.
And
Do-over.
it'll probably be everything that we've hoped for.
We all get a do-over.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all I took out of this moment.
All I could think of was, please give the ring back so he can do this over again. Please give the ring back.
That's
And then she did it. And
all
I was
I
like,
could think of.
yes,
You
okay, that means we're going to get the
good
proposal that she deserves. And there's a lot of people who are very happy about the proposal last week.
What?
I just don't like things that are like that big secret being behind all of
Right.
this. That's not what she deserves.
I don't want to
Yes.
see the proposal in their house, while he's somewhat intoxicated. I want to see it out like where there's a field and it's bright because it's kind of a dark lit room. I want to be outside, green grass, blue sky, romantic. He leans
Flash
down,
mob, like everything.
everyone's dancing.
The whole shebang.
I think that will happen. It won't change the fact that she kind of ruined the first proposal, but it'll give us a second chance to see that happiness and like actually have no secrets involved.
Redemption.
But I was surprised that she was in a way kind of forgiving, but she was also like, look, I love you. You can have a second chance. Like she didn't cut him off. She just was like, here it is. You got to figure yourself out and come back. So I think it was very mature of her. She wasn't like I'm going to run away and we're never going to get, I like the way that she did that. It was very mature.
She
of
left
her.
it open-ended and she left the ball in a court. In his court.
Yeah. And I mean, just to go along with what she was saying about, her family and being forgiveful.
Sorry, people are saying hashtag musical episode proposal.
Oh,
Can you imagine?
yes.
That would be
Can you
great.
imagine? Thank you, C.
awesome.
Denning.
Will
820.
you marry me, Emma? Something like that. Maybe not.
We don't pay you to sing, sweetie. It's cool though.
Okay.
It's cool.
You don't,
It's like, and that is why you are a host.
Yeah.
Hey.
Not a musical host.
that was me messing around. I can actually sing. Go check out my YouTube at Mr. Dakota T Jones and my covers.
So I'm just moving on. One of the things that she says, that I want you guys' opinion on is, she wasn't as upset as he thought that she would be, because she said, I mean, I know about your past. So I think it's just goes to show even more that he is the one with the hang-ups on his past, because she has already accepted that he was a villain and that he did bad things to people. It's something that Regina had to go through when she started to make the transition of being, one of the good heroes instead of a villain, is that she hurt people along the way in her evil queen days that she didn't know how it was affecting their lives, because she didn't really care at the time, but people had to find a way to forgive. So that's why I just never understood why Hook wasn't going to just tell David, hey, this is what happened.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was your dad. Not that murdering someone in cold blood is ever okay.
Do you think he was ever going to work up to the point where he actually would confess to David?
I think he was working up to confess to Emma first, but once he told Emma, I know that he would have had to tell David, because Emma wouldn't have let him keep it a secret like that.
We didn't even get David in this episode.
Well, Snow's been asleep for 5 episodes, so it's okay for David to be asleep for 2.
I know. I feel like what they're doing with that is, okay, they want to be home with their kids, so one week dad gets them, in real life, and then the next week mom gets them, so that way they can be with their kids more. I feel like that might be.
But the good news is that before Regina's twin left, she did give Regina all the knowledge she knew of how to make a counter. What's it called?
Argument?
No, a cure for what she did to David and Snow. An argument.
Wait, what?
So Regina said, it's gonna be hard and it's gonna take a while, but it does seem like we will get this curse broken before the end of the season. And then it goes into, how Hook is on the dock, and Snow comes up to him and is all excited. Aww. She's like, yay, you guys are getting married. Yay, Regina defeated herself again.
It's more like salt in that wound.
Yeah. And then,
oh, that's sweet, but...
Yeah. And she's like, you should go home to my daughter. Go home. And Hook was really going to go this time. I really feel like he was actually going to be like, okay,
yeah,
Captain Nemo, thanks for your words. I gotta get out of here. But as soon as he was down under deck, I was like, oh crap, someone's gonna push the boat off the dock and they're gonna start
jump out like he did last time and just swim to shore. Not that big of a deal.
He had all the time in the world to get out.
Because it's
open hatch to get out.
It's the submarine, so if he opens that while they're going under, they're gonna flood the whole thing.
What about that thing? Remember last time there was some weird opening at the bottom?
Yeah,
you could
and
just
they
dip off
jumped
into
through.
it.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make sense in my opinion. I don't know how the water didn't come up. Maybe it was because it was just sitting. I have no clue.
It's called physics.
But I was thinking at least we could jump out real quick and just swim to shore. It's not that big of a deal.
But I'm sure Gideon thought of all of those things and made it impossible for him to leave, because for Gideon's plan to work, he can't have Hook in Storybrooke, which makes sense because he wants Emma to be at her lowest point, to think that he abandoned her, to think that she's not worthy of this, to
make her more vulnerable.
Yeah, exactly. To really just tear at that girl's emotions. She's already got abandonment issues. Hello, her parents sent her away in a tree as a baby.
Freaking tree.
A freaking tree, man.
Yeah,
so clearly the girl has abandonment issues, and so now he's really, harping on that. And this Gideon guy.
It kind of, it really, really broke my heart, the whole, her turning off the lights thing. I was like, stop. He loves you.
He loves you. He was trying to get to you, Emma. He was trying to get back to you.
He was. Guys, he was.
It was just so sad.
It was sad.
Come back to me.
Baby, come back to me.
It's my last request.
I'm not going to sing, Tiona. Don't worry about it.
Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about in this episode?
I have a fun prediction. But
that's not where we go next.
Oh.
Because before we do predictions, we do Once Upon a Weave.
Yeah.
We got to get a music.
I feel like someone should
waiting for it and I was like, we don't have it.
I feel like someone should have a list of all the properties of the heart. What the heart can do. It can split into two. It can merge into two.
You can live with only half of one because that's
Right.
what David and
Apparently.
Snow are doing.
We need all the rules and principles of the functioning heart in the show.
There needs to be a book.
Because now merging these two together and sharing the same properties, that's a whole new rule that we haven't seen. But because we've done all these things and all these amendments to the heart, we can just go with it. Be like, yeah, totally,
Yeah,
that could
sure.
happen.
That
cool
makes
with it.
sense.
It was cool,
It was,
but
but
that was my last thing.
all right. So let's get into Once Upon a Weave. Do you guys?
All right, I was trying to make a sound
Okay.
effect.
Do you guys have anyone for the short list?
Ooh, I gotta say, Evil Queen though, she was rocking it like she always does. The updo.
She had a hat in most of it. I wasn't about the hat as much. I mean,
No, her in her actual outfit, not like the
Okay.
flashback
Okay,
Regina,
okay.
but like the showdown Regina,
Showdown
sword
Regina,
fight Regina.
you got to give it to Regina. Or I mean,
Whenever.
we're talking about Evil Queen, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Evil.
Okay, yeah. Her hair is always like
Bah.
grandeur,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, she wins it every week, so let's just call a spade a spade. Like,
Yeah.
Can we
Evil
talk about
Queen gets
who
it.
didn't get
Who,
Once Upon a Week?
yeah, I know who you're gonna say. Who didn't? Who did not win?
I
This
know
week?
who you're telling.
Snow. I love you, girl, but like, let's grow the hair out a little bit. I mean, and I love that girls can have short hair too. That's amazing. I think short hair looks great on everybody. Not everyone, but I mean, I'm trying to dig myself out of a hole.
It
But
looks great on most people.
short hair looks good, and she does look good. She's beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
but I think she could grow it out a little bit, and I think she would look great. I mean, she already looks great, but can you imagine she could look greater?
Yeah, I mean, I was watching some of her old movies and with longer hair and not long,
Watching-
like short, long.
Like Walk the Line. Yeah,
yeah,
her hair
it's
was
like
great.
it's very nice.
I love, she's gorgeous, and she could be like long haired, amazing.
Yeah, and it feels like the short hair is getting shorter.
It does.
It's like from like season 1 to the
Even
progress.
shorter.
Yeah,
Shorter
it
and
just
shorter
gets
and
shorter
shorter.
and shorter.
And
So
we said she was Henry's twin tonight because their hair looks so similar.
Oh,
did.
people are saying Emma because her hair was in a braid.
it was.
Emma's hair did look great in this episode. Yeah.
We need more of Emma because the last few episodes she's come in for a scene or two, but it's like I miss having Emma in the story.
Like you said last week, do you think they're kind of eventually going to kind of play her out? Like,
No, I think I think
she's.
they're wrapping out the other stuff because she's coming more to the
Okay,
forefront.
okay.
Well, and in fairness, this episode was really about Regina,
Yeah.
and Evil Queen, but like I can kind of see where you're saying that because Emma, she's been like in her sweater and jeans every episode for the last three episodes, which is totally fine. I'm all about comfortability, but yeah, she hasn't really been in that fighting, go get 'em Emma.
Yeah.
Oh my
you
gosh.
know.
Prince Wright says that hair makes her look like a s'more. Oh,
s'more?
that's so sad. Oh my
Wow.
gosh. But everyone kind of agrees.
mean.
C. Denning 820 said, I agree, Dakota. I think Jennifer always looked better with long hair. So, I mean, she can rock both. But, I mean, change things up. You can have long
Yeah.
hair. You look great in long hair.
Long hair, don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's
Emma's
get
hair did
into
look
some predictions now because that's the fun part.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
Have you never noticed that the lights flash, Dakota?
No, I'm just having an allergic reaction.
Dakota, you said you had a good prediction.
Yes. Okay, so I am going to credit this person because they
Oh, wow,
are
she's giving
amazing.
credit
I'm giving
for
her
a
credit. I
prediction.
don't want to I don't want
Oh my
to take
gosh.
credit for this, but one of the fans basically sent me a long video where it said, "Hey, this is what we think." This guy went in depth and basically said that he thinks that Gideon is not Belle's son, not Belle and Rumpel's son. I kind of forgot how it happened, but okay, her name is Juicy Lucy 16. She sends us things all the time. She sent this prediction, and basically that Gideon, and had so many facts to back it up, and I wish I could remember them, but basically Gideon is kind of just there to distract them, but he's not actually their son, and that it's all a part of Jafar's plan because Jafar like plants visions and images into people's minds and
Yeah, where did
messes
Jafar
with them.
go?
And so basically the prediction was that he was just kind of like this person to kind of throw them off and make them feel like this is the reality, and he's being controlled by Jafar, and that Jafar is actually Oracle because there was this big theory about that and how Iago is following around Oracle, but that they actually think that Jafar is Oracle and that he is basically messing with everyone and planting images. Like they think Jafar is responsible for Emma's tremors and vision, and that it's basically there to just kind of mess with her.
So that's not your prediction. That's her prediction.
So when you said I have a really good prediction, you meant that
Juicy Lucy 16
had a really good prediction
that she got from a video
that you were going to stumble through and not remember the real prediction. I'm just joking.
You're so mean to me.
I love you, Dakota. I love you so much.
Every prediction, you're so mean. But I actually had a good one, and I gave her credit because I wasn't about to say it was me. But I agree, and I'll have to send you guys a video. It's so convincing. But yeah, like it's really insane.
Okay.
I mean, I can kind of get with that only because we see baby Gideon go off with the blue fairy, and then the next time we see Gideon, he's an adult. So it could be anyone. We're just led to believe that that's an actual adult version of Gideon.
Victoria,
so I can understand that.
Victoria says the Oracle is dead, but is she, or is that just what Jafar wants us to think? Maybe he used the Oracle, got rid of her, and then she's dead, and then now he's able to...
Yeah, it's like, where did Jafar go? I mean, he just was like a villain, and then he just went off.
He's been there. Maybe he is
he
Gideon.
might come back if we get...
Next week, guys.
Yeah, if we get...
Aladdin and Jasmine are back next week, so that's exciting. Finally, we get to see what they've been up to and working with Hook.
Yes.
So, nothing can go wrong there.
And did you see Karen David stabbing the heck out of that Kraken?
Yeah.
I'm excited to see
going
that.
for it.
She's like, shank!
And we also get Ariel.
Yeah, Ariel's coming back too. Can't wait for that.
So Ariel's gonna help get Hook out of wherever they are.
Yeah.
Because they're under sea. They're literally under the sea.
Under the sea.
She can take him through portals and stuff to get him home to Emma.
Totally.
I love that.
I think she's an amazing Ariel. Like, whenever I think of
she's
Ariel, she's Ariel.
Okay.
Yeah, Joanna's great.
All right, cool. Well, I mean, just to go back on the Gideon thing, I've said this every week. I show you receipts to Gideon that you are actually not an evil person. Like, whether I like that he might not be Rumple and Belle's child, but if he is, which I kind of believe him to be, I still just don't believe that he was able to, I'm a good boy who's only trying to save. I don't believe that you are evil and the Black Fairy is up to something to get back at her son for something that he probably did over the years.
Yeah.
So I do not believe this at all because she took that kid, she took her grandchild for a reason, and until he shows me some flashback receipts of him, I should have helped that poor boy who was screaming for help. Show me a flashback of that. You show me a flashback of everything else. Why can't I see a flashback of this?
I think, like the video I watched was saying, Jafar is known for planting visions and stuff. I think Jafar got into Belle's dreams, made her think that was her son, so then that way when Gideon showed up, she would believe he's his son. But if he, in fact, is not the son, Belle and Rumple still have a child hanging around somewhere. Maybe it could be brought back, and then Belle will be happy with her child. Whether that means that Rumple and Belle will get back together, who knows? But I just want the baby to be okay and not evil.
I understand. I still think that there will be a moment where either Belle or Rumple, or heck, even both of them, are going to change Gideon/Morpheus at the last moment, and he becomes a good guy, and he changes his ways, and somehow redeems himself. I can totally see that happening.
But you think it is their son?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
that?
the
Okay.
son.
All right.
I think it's their son. Just because.
I think he's gonna die though.
Ooh.
I think he's gonna die,
interesting.
and then everyone's gonna realize, oh, okay, that wasn't our son, or that wasn't Belle and Rumple's son.
It would actually be poetic if he did die, because Rumple has all these episodes and all these seasons, he's tried so hard to save his son, and it'd be ironic, also poetic, if he couldn't save his son. You know what I mean?
Don't we think it's time Rumple had a daughter? He's not having good luck with sons.
No,
Right.
he's gotta have
you need a baby girl. It softens the heart. It makes you a better person inside and out.
It's true.
Rumple needs a daughter.
Yeah.
Not that I want him to, go start procreating with Belle again.
Oh,
Statistically, boys who have sisters are more socially...
Sorry.
Get it together. Boys who have sisters are actually more socially aware. They have better social skills.
You're welcome,
With
brothers.
Which is why
Yeah,
I
you are
turned out
welcome.
so
Yeah.
well. Obviously.
Obviously. Clearly.
Clearly.
Clearly,
Do you have
Betty.
sisters?
I have a sister, yeah. And I feel like she has made me a better person. So there we go.
There we go.
You see? That's what I'm saying. All right.
All right. Well, any other predictions, Dakota, that you want to steal from someone in the chat?
Well, Olivia did say that the person who I was trying to also quote was the theorizer, and he has all these videos. It goes like 10 minutes in depth. If you don't care to have potential spoilers, watch them. They're very insightful, and they have screenshots and everything. They have the receipts that you want.
They have the
so
receipts.
I might forward you the video so you have all the receipts.
People are saying Jafar is the Black Fairy.
Ooh.
Maybe Sky Patterson says Jafar might be the Black Fairy.
Interesting.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Or posing as the Black Fairy, because isn't the Black Fairy
Uncle's
Gold's
mom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But who knows, like, the actual power that she actually wields? Like, what else can she do? Can she transform herself? Yes.
Yeah, maybe she
Yes,
transforms
she can.
into Jafar.
Yes,
Maybe
she
she
can.
is Jafar. Ooh, my God.
Yeah. Maybe it goes both ways.
Woo, Lordy, it's getting good.
Too much.
Oh my. Well, you guys at home, make sure you guys let us know what you think. What are your predictions? Make sure you go over to iTunes and give us 5 stars, rate us, comment there. Check us out on YouTube and give us a thumbs up and leave us a comment below to let us know, how you feeling. How you doing? All that stuff.
Hey.
And in the meantime, until next week, where can the good folks find you guys online?
You guys can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Mr. Dakota T Jones, and my new talk show, Millennial Hollywood, on AfterBuzz TV's Popcorn Talk. And I'm getting ready right now to head over to Keeping Up with the Kardashians. So if you like that show too, join us.
And we are immediately timely. You can follow me on Twitter at Serafini TV.
And you can find me at the Tiona Hobson. Make sure you guys go over to AfterBuzz TV. Find us all over social media. Like us. Give us some love. Comment. Watch all of the other shows that we do here. We do so many shows every week for you guys free of charge. And all we ask is that you give us a little love back by liking, subscribing, and commenting.
Yep.
Super easy, right? So we will be back next week with a brand new exciting episode of Once Upon a Time. So until then, we bid you adieu.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.